I head up a team. We have a product lead, we have a business systems analyst, UX engineer, UX designer, UX researchers as well. And what we do is we define this as equity-focused research. So what this consists of is trying to speak with users from these underrepresented and sometimes marginalized groups to understand basically their experiences and their needs. So I grew up in Oakland here in California. I come from a lower socioeconomic status background. I understand like what my folks had to do to get a degree of social capital and resources to be able to give us a reasonable quality of life. I think of kind of the struggles my folks had, the struggles being a Black man, the struggles that I've gone through in terms of access to resources, access to education, straight on kind of discrimination because of the color of my skin and my background as well. Having that lived experience, I realized like I want to be able to advocate for people that are from my background and my community, but there are tons of other backgrounds and communities that are struggling in that same way. I think that's what kind of drives me to do the work, is that lived experience and understanding that there are people in need. So I studied medicine at UCSF, and I did my clinical rotations at SF General Hospital. As you transition from the preclinical years to the clinical years, these are the moments in which you're actually talking to people. And SF General being a county hospital, it was the first time essentially that I got to start to work with people that were from my own community. So I was working with a number of Black folks that were from lower socioeconomic status backgrounds. And there were patients there that were going through really, really horrible things. So I would sit down and I would talk to people sometimes for 45 minutes or an hour to kind of understand like what their backgrounds were and what their needs were, at least in the clinical space. And it was kind of those moments of understanding their needs and understanding kind of where the system had broken down for them, right? That I think I learned the most. And I could see the points at which these patients' physicians were missing the mark. They weren't getting the information that was necessary to help these people. And so a lot of that is why I left the field of medicine, because I wanted to do something that would be scalable and had a lot more to do with education and access for folks that had not had it up till that point. I actually left UCSF early before finishing. I got 3 out of 4 years in, and I went to Stanford instead and got into a doctoral program there in learning sciences and technology design. I got exposed to UX in general, product design, and UX research. And while I did my doctoral work, I was focused on understanding the experience of Black plus students at historically Black colleges and universities, these students that were pursuing degrees in computer science and electrical engineering. My work there was focused on understanding the challenges there and understanding kind of their ideas of their own identity as engineers. So I went through the doctoral program and got into an internship here at Google. I had a chance to then be able to convert to a full-time position after the internship, and I landed on a wonderful team, a Chrome UX team. I came onto that team to kind of get my chops, right? Like to understand what UXR really meant and to understand how to work in product design, right? But at the same time, when I came in the door, my intention was to be able to do equity work. Since kind of hitting the ground, I've been in programs and created my own programs that have focused on equitable access to education, and specifically equitable access to education in UX. I think my favorite part about my job is the ability to focus on equity. And I think for me, what that means is being able to advocate for groups that are underrepresented and marginalized, and groups that don't have as much agency or kind of access to a voice in the industry. So being able to speak with folks from these backgrounds and elevate their voices and elevate their needs is kind of the thing that keeps me going through the job day by day. I'm Jason, and I am the head of equity engineering at Google.